You can access the entire episode now on our website, forbiddenknowledge.news, Rumble, and all podcast platforms. I think that you're exactly right. This is a spiritual war, but I have a slightly different perspective of things since actually the other day when I had a profound spiritual awakening, May the 4th be with you all, I had this realization about perception and imagination and collective consciousness, and how if God and Source is indeed connected to everything and created everything, He speaks through everything. He is speaking through cinema. He is speaking through movies. I don't think necessarily it's all a top-down pyramid bad lizard people directed, we're going to put this message here, we're going to put this message there. I think that is there to a certain degree, but I think there's also people that are working with their imagination, producers, directors, actors, people in the Hollywood realm that are just letting this stuff flow through, and it's neither bad nor good. It's a message from Source saying, wake the F up, this is the way things really are, and this has been perpetuated from the beginning throughout Hollywood and media. It's all messages telling us to wake the hell up and pay attention to what is happening. Would you agree with that?
I like that. Yeah, I agree, brother, because the way the dark forces work is they have to give us 70, 80%, 90% truth, right? It's all about that 5-10% that they're like, you know what? I love your creative idea for this movie. Can we just inject some like World War III scenes and some like metaverse scenes, but the rest is great. So they'll just inject their little agendas in all the, you're right. But for me, my research shows if you're an A-list celebrity, it's very controversial what I researched, and I just can't not see it.
This is important because I agree. Like, if you're at a certain level, you are meddling with the dark. You're in the dark, man. You're right in it, and people need to hear this.
You're compromised. Yeah, if you're an A-list celebrity, there's an optimist in me. There's an innocent version in me that likes to see good, and I'm like, oh, this person, oh, Tupac got compromised. Oh, this person, oh. There's a few, that's why I have this motto that says kill your heroes, because every time I had someone on a pedestal, I was like, oh shit, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, they were like the flip side. Notorious B.I.G., Tupac, they were like flip side of the coin, but they were both like potentially controlled opposition or whatnot. But like there's still people that I feel have not compromised, like a Bob Marley, like a lot of unsung heroes that, but if they're A-list celebrities, there's different versions of compromise. You could just sell out to let's say it's a Freemasonic thing that you do, or the next level above that is some kind of satanic sellout where it does require some kind of sacrifice. And so there's different levels, because you still have people like Prince who were in the music industry for a long time, but yet they were talking about chemtrails, right? So they weren't controlled fully. Whereas you have, if anyone's doing the one-eye gang symbol, that's like they've compromised to an order that basically tells them, okay, we can't talk about COVID. We only need to say that they have to take the injection. So there's different, and anyone who, and then there are people like Michael Jackson who from a very young age were sold into the industry, but then fought against the industry. That's why if you listen to his lyrics about they don't care about us, the Earth song, like what level, at what celebrity at Michael Jackson level is talking about we need to protect children, we need to protect the planet, like he was addressing Tommy Mottola and heads of music, in these big music mogul people. He was like, these guys are the devil, these guys are the demons. So but then what happened after that is they crucified his career using the media. But I 100% believe source energy is so powerful, whatever you want to call it, source, God, universe. And I think now is the most important time for us to go, okay, we saw how powerful the dark force is, but really they need our power to be that powerful, just like a president. If everyone's giving their energy and power to the president appears more powerful, right? But where did that power come from? So if we pull back all our power, and we'll do a process for that later, we pull back all our power and we use they're using the power of our mind and imagination. Why don't we use it? So they're programming and hypnotizing us with their TV, and so why don't we choose the music we listen to? Because if it's on the radio, it's compromised. It's got subliminal messages, it's got heavy frequencies, it's got agendas. So we choose the music we want to listen to. We choose the content. You know, I was learning a lot through watching Rumble documentaries and Gaia TV. There's some really cool shows there. Unsubscribe from the ones that are, you know, not necessarily for your highest good. While I'm sleeping, I'm listening to hypnosis audios, because hypnosis programs your subconscious. So you can literally tell. And since we were kids till now, we've been bombarded, especially in the States, when it comes to like pharmaceuticals and commercials, and like the amount of commercials that are stored in your subconscious right now, Chris. We gotta like do a clean slate.
Yeah, man.
We just gotta like delete these files that are just taking up space, and you know. So hypnosis, I would say, is really powerful. Listen to like record affirmations. I'm successful. I'm achieving my goals and dreams. I'm focusing on what's most important. I'm using my skills to the best. I'm attracting my soul tribe, I'm attracting soul aligned opportunities. I'm thriving on all levels. And play it while you're sleeping on repeat, because we need to do like, so much has been done onto us, but we can do more to outweigh those negative effects, and utilizing the power of God. Like sometimes even as spiritual warriors, I've fell for the matrix. I'm like, okay, I just make good money and I'm good.
Right.
But I had to remember, it comes with responsibility. Like, I'm privileged to be in a country. I'm here in Canada. I'm privileged to be of Middle Eastern descent. My granddad's Palestinian, my mom's Lebanese Syrian. But I'm privileged to be here, and with this privilege, I can almost feel responsible. Take a percentage of the money I make, give it back to like causes that I care about. Take some of the time that I have, pray for the rest of the planet. You know, you could use the word prayer, intention, invocation. Depends on where you're coming from. If you're religious, spiritual, or kind of like a wizard, like, you know, priestess, wizard kind of archetype. But it's our time. It's our time to shine. And it's really important that we list, Chris. I really feel what I got from, because January, I was like, my why, I've lost my why. And when January happened, I was like, after watching all those movies, I was like, I felt defeated. So it is, when I watched those movies, it did feel like a psychological defeat, because I was like, well, if the whole planet's destroyed and everyone's in chaos, like, what's the point? So that's part of the game.
They try to get us to manifest these outcomes through fear, man. That's what that's about.
Yeah. And like, I've got faith tattooed on my chest, faith over fear. And I felt like these movies subconsciously get you to I felt defeated after watching the movies with my third eye open. And I think that's part of the spiritual warfare, is defeat. So if you don't have hope, you don't have faith, you've already lost. So I think it's important to write a list of what, like, let's say we're not promised tomorrow. What do we need within our own selves to be at peace, to be in Hawaiian spiritual culture, they call it pono. That's where the word ho'oponopono, which is I'm sorry, thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, I love you, thank you, forgive me. So they repeat these 4 affirmations over and over to really clean up all their guilt and karma and all that kind of stuff. I question karma. I feel it is some kind of archonic matrix program, and I also feel it's self-inflicted. If you do something and you're feeling guilty about it, that guilt will continue to manifest things for you. I think that's good. It's good feedback for us to know what we need to clear within our own selves and forgive within our own selves. So I really believe in the power of forgiveness. I think it's one of the ways out of the traps that we're in, is forgive ourselves, forgive others. You can play a Ho'oponopono audio while you're sleeping on repeat, because it's constantly, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. And you're just like cleaning the slate of all these things. But I definitely feel we need to practice, like we need to like role play or have a simulation where we practice what happens in between lives, because if you have any weakness, it'll be used against you. And how many people say, oh, I got guilt tripped? That's guilt tripped